Mr. Beat presents Presidential Elections in American History. The fifth presidential election in American history was held from Friday, November 2nd to Wednesday, December 5th, 1804. Incumbent President Thomas Jefferson sought re-election. Jefferson, the Democratic-Republican candidate, had become very popular during his 4 years as president, and his main opponent, the Federalist candidate Charles Cotesworth Pinckney, had quite the challenge trying to convince voters to swing his way. A hero of the Revolutionary War and former ambassador to France, Pinckney had previously ran for president, but now was finally the Federalist frontrunner. The election was significant because it was the first one after the ratification of the 12th Amendment to the Constitution. The 12th Amendment says presidential electors have to give their choice for both president and vice president on their ballots. No longer would the second-place winner be the vice president. The Democratic Republicans chose a new running mate for Jefferson, George Clinton. No, not that George Clinton. Wait a second. What happened to Burr, Jefferson's vice president? Well, Jefferson and Burr had a shaky relationship through the first term. Oh yeah, and Burr had shot and killed Alexander Hamilton in a duel earlier in the year. Jefferson had understandably distanced himself from Burr after that. The Federalists nominated Massachusetts legend Rufus King as Pinckney's running mate. The Federalists seemed sort of afraid to run against Jefferson in 1804. Jefferson, after all, was one popular dude after the Louisiana Purchase, getting rid of the whiskey tax, and standing up to the Barbary pirates. The Federalists ran a weak campaign, and most predicted Jefferson would win the election by a big margin. One other note. Ohio was now part of the presidential election process after becoming a state the previous year. And here are the results. Thomas Jefferson didn't just win the election by a big margin, he won it by a huge margin, remaining the third president in American history. Jefferson received 162 electoral votes, compared to Pinckney receiving just 14. Jefferson won all but the states of Delaware and Connecticut. New England states had previously went to the Federalist candidate, not so much this time, and this was another big blow to the Federalist Party. George Clinton was elected as the country's fourth vice president. With this election, Jefferson became the first former vice president in American history to be elected and re-elected, and only one of two Americans to ever accomplish such a feat. Jefferson's 45.6 percentage point victory margin in the popular vote remains the most lopsided in American history. Never again would the victory margin be so high in a presidential election with multiple major party candidates. I'll see you for the next election, buddy.